How a no name became somebody. Growing up, I was a multi sport athlete. I started playing sports when I was 5 years old. I played a total of 5 sports and excelled in all of them growing up. I played football, basketball, baseball, soccer, and I ran track. At a very young age, my parents were very involved in my siblings and my athletic careers. Money was tight growing up, and my parents always strived to give me and my siblings better opportunities than they had. They closely evaluated our strengths and weaknesses in each of the sports that we participated in to see which sport we could excel in. They did this in order for us to get a free education and have better opportunities to be successful in life. As the years went on throughout elementary school, middle school, and high school, my parents narrowed down the sports that we were all allowed to play. Going into high school, the two sports that were narrowed down for me were basketball and football. In my little league, travel teams, and club teams, I excelled in those two sports and started to make a name for myself. However, when I got into high school, I was very undersized for my age and struggled with size advantages in different sports. I have a tall and athletic family, so I dreamed of being big like the rest of my family. However, I was a late bloomer. In my freshman year of high school, I was 5'8" and underweight to play football and basketball. I would constantly get physically dominated in both sports, but I would barely get by with my athletic abilities. I did not play varsity basketball or football during my freshman and sophomore years, and that was very hard for me. I knew that my parents had a goal for my siblings and I to excel and earn a scholarship. In my sophomore year, I grew a little and reached 5'11". At this point, I was able to get involved a little bit more in those sports and make a small impact by playing JV and a little bit of varsity. My dad noticed that I was not tall enough and decided that my basketball dream would come to an end. But he had hope I could excel in football. At this time, I had to sit out because I had various problems with my knees, which resulted in growing pains. Going into my junior year, I had a crazy growth spurt and grew from 5'11" to 6'3" in 2 months right before the season started. I was only playing football at the time and did not know what position I would be most successful in for the next level. So I tried tight end because I was both physical and fast. That year, I was extremely nervous to reach my goal of getting a scholarship because it seemed like I was running out of time. Some of the other kids in my city were picking up scholarship offers as early as their freshman year, and I didn't get any offers, let alone looks from college coaches. The first couple of games I played JV, I was devastated because I thought that time was running out, and I felt that I could help my team with my abilities to win games. In the third game of my junior year, one of our linemen got injured and was out for the rest of the season with no backup. Without hesitation, my coach made me step up and play that role. At first, I had no clue what I was doing or any knowledge about the techniques that were used pertaining to the offensive line because growing up, I played every position on the field except for offensive line. However, through time, I began to get good at the position, even though I didn't have a lot of experience. I was very physical and it helped the team. I started doing well and began gathering a little bit of attention. At the end of the season, I made a highlight tape just for fun, and by the grace of God, I had received my first scholarship offer to the University of Albany, a small Division I school in New York. After that, everything went uphill. I was receiving scholarship offers from very Division I schools, and I was very grateful. By the time my senior year came around, I was 6'4", 270 pounds. After the season, I had about 15 offers from Division I non-Power 5 schools. I always thought I had higher potential to play at a higher level than the offers that I received. Out of high school, I ended up committing to play football on a full athletic scholarship to Florida International University in Miami, Florida. Quickly, I gained my respect on the team by starting as a freshman and dominating in the run game and allowing few sacks in the passing game. I loved when we played Power 5 teams because I could show my abilities and talents to the world. My team was very average and my football program was falling apart. My coaching staff was on the verge of getting fired and it became a bad situation to be in as a player. After the season, I felt as though I had the potential of being a big-time player at a big-time university. Many people, coaches, and national analysts noticed and felt that the same way. I was then selected to be on the freshman All-American team. I also was first team All-Conference in Conference USA. I was finally getting the recognition that I felt I deserved, but I was not done yet. I decided to enter the transfer portal in November, not knowing what the outcome would be. Within 3 minutes after I entered the transfer portal, I received my first scholarship offer from Syracuse University. That day was very hectic as I received over 20 offers from Power 5 schools. I started getting articles written about me as well as news reports. When it was all said and done, I was ranked number 10 in the country in the transfer portal, which consisted of over 3,000 kids. It was an accomplishment for me as I came out of high school as a 3-star to a transfer 4-star. I earned over 50 scholarship offers in a span of 2 weeks from almost everywhere in the country, from Alabama to Oregon to Ohio State. Coaches would stop by my house nonstop to try to convince me to come to their school. Out of those schools, there was one in particular that caught my attention and had been a school of interest for a while. That school was LSU. When they offered me, I could not pass up the offer. I decided to pick a top 3 list of schools that had offered me to narrow down my decisions. But after I visited LSU, it sealed the deal, and I decided that this is the place for me. LSU for me was the Disney World of all college football. The coaching, the environment, and the culture were all second to none. I committed there, and it was up from there. I competed throughout the spring and the fall and earned a starting role on the offensive line, but I'm not done yet on my journey. I hope to accomplish many big things while I'm here at LSU, and hopefully one day help bring back LSU to its rightful place in college football.